Yeah. Next slide, please. The variations in a single line of echoes are recorded. This is a M mode of, there is also one M mode. This M mode is motion mode. It is very important to record, and everybody is familiar with this because we use it in echocardiography. We do use it in measuring the fetal heart rate. What it does is we put a single line of one crystal fires, only one crystal fires, and the screen is moving against time. So we are focusing on one spot, and because that spot is going up and down, this wavy pattern will appear, and then we can calculate, placing on these waves what is the heart rate. Yeah, that is M mode, motion mode. Next slide, please. Now, frequency, resolution, and penetration, these are highly related. As this diagram shows, that we can see here two women, and both are pregnant by 21 weeks. So what we do is we use low frequency in high BMI patient, and of course there is a trade-off. The resolution will be less, but the penetration will be more, because the high BMI people, this is one of the big challenges, because obesity has become a big problem throughout the world, and therefore we have to use low frequency. We have to choose our transducer accordingly. In high BMI, what we do is we use low frequency transducers, and in thin woman we use high frequency, because in high frequency the resolution will be very high, but these waves cannot penetrate to a great depth. That is one of, but then the picture quality is great. And here in this one shows that how much penetration is possible.
I request all the participants to please mute themselves. Noise.
So this is the depth which is goes. See, the higher is the megahertz, higher is the frequency, the depth is decreasing to 1 to 4 cm. And the lower frequency one, see, we are able to reach at 10 to 20 centimeters. Sometimes these machines today, modern machines, we can go up to 23, 25 centimeters also, but then they use a different technology for going to deeper structure. Next slide, please. This is very important, the image resolution. We have three types of resolution. One is lateral resolution, axial resolution, temporal resolution. Out of all these, axial resolution is the best, because the sound wave which is going perpendicular, because it is traveling in a very straight line, also the returning signals will also be coming in a straight line. So the two objects which are in that line, which is, let us say if it is 0.2 millimeter apart, the machine is able to resolve as two different dots on the display screen. In lateral resolution, the dots being parallel, I mean the perpendicular to the beam, also it is really challenging that the machine calculates exactly the two dots should be less than, which is less than 0.2 mm, should appear as two different dots. If they merge, the image will not be clear. Temporal resolution is how many frames we are. This is what also known as frame rate, because as in cinema we used to have films, so a lot of how many it moves in a very quick succession. So how many frame in how much of time one frame completely fits into the display, before the next one is coming, and how many frames per second. This is one of the very important thing, because in moving structure like heart, it is called temporal resolution, because that is related to time, and therefore this temporal resolution is also should be very good frame rate in moving structure. Also sometimes the higher the frame rate, the better is the image quality. Next slide, please. Now, image enhancement, this is tissue harmonic imaging. Tissue harmonics means what is happening is our transducer, let us say, if it is sending a fundamental frequency, what it is sending, let us say it is 2 megahertz. But what happens is sound waves, because it is a mechanical pressure wave, it will cause the tissues to vibrate. And when the tissues also will vibrate, the fundamental frequency is 2 megahertz, but the tissue vibrates at 4 megahertz. So it returns certain waves which are 4 megahertz. So that means the fundamental we are sending 2 and we are receiving 4. That means our frequency has increased. So the image quality, as we know that higher the frequency, better is the resolution. So here we can see the thyroid gland, one with how the right side image, which uses tissue harmonics, the image quality has become better. And we have to remember that tissue harmonics are created by the tissue and not by the machine. Next slide, please. Artifact. Yeah, this is also one of the most important factor, because what happens is, because as I said that sound does not travel uniformly in all tissue, like fat, air, whatever tissue we have, it is not same. It is like it differs from tissue to tissue. So this difference in the speed also can create artifacts. It can create like near zone artifacts will be there. And also what happens is, actually the tissue or the anatomy is something different, but on the screen we see some artifact. Like in this image we are seeing 2 hilly regions, but in fact it's not. So this can happen, but there are ways. And this
audible, sir.
Not audible. Am I audible now?
Audible.
Yes,
Ah,
yes,
sir,
audible,
audible.
audible.
Audible, sir.
Maybe
Audible, sir.
something wrong with your system. So point is an ultrasound image which does not match the actual anatomy. Anatomy is different, but on the image we are seeing in the display, we are seeing something different. That means this will create, there is a chance that if we do not know about artifacts and how they are created and how to resolve these artifacts, then we will do a misdiagnosis. So we have to know fundamentally what are the artifacts and how they are created and how we should overcome that artifact to study the real anatomy. Next slide, please. So these are the dropout artifacts, and this is acoustic shadowing. That means if there is a solid tissue and we see dark area posterior to this dense reflector, because what happens is the tissue is so dense that it is reflecting almost all the sound waves, and therefore we don't see anything behind this, and this is perpendicular to the beam or the sound wave. The dark spots will be there. So this is, we can reduce by adjusting the angle of insonation. And I sometimes see this is very important also. Like acoustic image shadowing helps us in diagnosis. I give you one example. Like in gynecological examination, we do study dermoid. Now dermoid will definitely, because it has all the tissue, all kind of, it also has a bone, it has a hair, it will be casting a dense shadow behind the dermoid, which is a characteristic. Once we see a dermoid, we know how it looks like. Because of the acoustic shadow, we will be able to diagnose this. Sometimes we do diagnose cancerous solid tissue also with this artifact. So sometimes it is of diagnostic use. Next slide, please. This is posterior enhancement and application. Mostly in the cystic structure, this will happen. The area of increased brightness immediately posterior to cystic structure. It is caused by lack in sound attenuation through a structure with few interfaces. So we confirm by changing an angle of insonation. Once we turn our transducer to another angle, we will, this posterior enhancement will decrease. And of course, this again, we use it as a diagnostic tool to know that, yeah, we confirm this is a cyst, because there is nothing behind which can reflect, and there is no attenuation. Means sound wave, what happens ultimately, sound wave, when we put, what is the fate of that sound wave? See, it gets attenuated, it gets weaker, the amplitude will decrease, the intensity will decrease, there is absorption, there is attenuation, and we will come to that when we study the side effects or the biological bio effects of ultrasound. Next slide, please. Reverberation artifact. This occurs when the US beam encounters two strong parallel reflectors or multiple parallel echoes result from back and forth travel of ultrasound waves between two reflecting surfaces. Many times we see in urinary bladder, and what we do is we see a lot of these parallel lines when looking at urinary bladder. And what we do is either change of the insonation or we decrease the gain. That is how we avoid this kind of artifact. Next slide, please. Again, this is reverberation. Probe face and subcutaneous tissue interface provide parallel reflectors. So this is again the same thing, that the subcutaneous, we can see a lot of waves which are returning superficially and not from the depth. So this again will cause artifacts. It gives some false images, for some false brightness or some false dark lines in the image. And what we do is, again, we avoid it by changing the angle of insonation. Next slide, please. Side lobe RFIT. Yeah, this will result from a strong reflector which is outside the beam of the whatever our fan-like beam we are sending. Some structures or some waves, they will be going out of the range and returning from that, which is called side lobe artifact. Echoes from reflectors are displayed as if originated, and it looks as if it is coming from the within the central beam. So this again gives a false image in the display. Next slide, please. Now here comes, this is very important, the safety issues and biological effects. Now what happens? Sound wave, again, the maximum attenuation is by absorption. And what absorption does, when tissue absorbs sound, heat is generated, and increased movement of molecules result in rise in temperature. And also when there is a liquid structure, like, because all our tissues also have some liquid, so some gas bubbles will be formed, and when they collapse, if this gas bubble, when it collapses, there will be a cavitation effect. It results in pressure wave release into the surrounding tissue. So This is again, it is due to liquid increase in static pressure, and these effects safety issues. There is a, now there is a rule that every machine and thermal index. So thermal index is again, it will show as the rise of temperature, and also the mechanical index will be giving us a warning about the cavitational effect. So the highest thermal index is because bone absorbs most of the absorption is more in the bone. The temperature rises very high nearer to the bone. So the skeletal muscle near the bone are heated very much. So this we have to take care of. Like for example, how these things happen. Like for example, when we are examining a 8 weeks or 7 week fetus, we don't really don't insonate the cardiac structures with power Doppler or the PW, because it will create heating and it may damage the developing heart. So that is why we have to take care, and we have to understand that temperature or this cavitational effect, how the especially temperature in case of fetal heart in early stages. We never use power Doppler or even color Doppler. Nowadays we are advocating at 11 beyond 11 weeks, but earlier our guidelines used to say no, but using it very cautiously. Why these issues? Because so far, of course, we say that there are no biological effects, proven biological effects with the use of the frequency we are using. Let us say we are using from 3 to 20 or 3 to 15, then there are not much of effects are proven till date. But because beyond, we don't know how much of exposure a tissue will, let us say I am scanning, and if I scan for a longer period and the same structures I am looking at for a long time, it may affect those tissues. Next slide, please. And again, yeah, as I said that these are the warnings which are given on the display itself. And this principle of ALARA, we are following as low as reasonably achievable. The thermal index has to be below 1 and mechanical index has to be below 1. This is a ratio. So ratio between that, we know how much of power is needed to increase temperature by 1 degree and how much we have really used that machine. That would calculate a ratio and tell us that, okay, now you should stop. I mean, you have to either stop or you can go to other area. It gives us a warning, and it has become mandatory with all manufacturers for this TIMI, and ALARA principle has to be strictly followed. Next slide, please. So this is roughly the scanning time. It gives us about how much of time it is required and how much, like less than 60 minutes. The thermal index is about 0. See, these are the recommended range also. It is given, and we can. I think you all have this in the book also. Next slide, please. So these are the power levels of the different kind of ultrasound when we use. See, the heating potential and the power, both are given. And as we say, see here, the 2D, 3D B mode, the heating potential is less. Harmonic has more, as I said, because the tissue starts vibrating, it will generate heat. M mode, of course, it is higher than harmonic. Color Doppler also has it goes higher than M mode. and pulse Doppler is the highest of the, it uses more power, and also it has a high heating potential. That is why I said fetal cardiac system, when it is developing, we don't use pulse Doppler. Next slide, please. So there are guidelines. These guidelines also you can go through. There is a elaborate, it is elaborately given in this. And of course, let me tell you that we have given an e-book to all the participants. And this book has been written in a very elaborate way, in a very practical way. For learning purpose, there is no comparison. I think I could not find any other book even in US medical libraries. This is a unique of its own kind, because the people who developed are very dedicated. One of them, Philip Janty, is no more, but the all other are there. And they have specifically designed the e-book to match all the slides, which I think we are going to talk about. So please read the initial and whatever I have spoken today, it is elaborately given in the first 3 chapters of the ebook. And those friends or colleagues haven't received, I could ask some of your colleagues who have, or I will share my email in the chat box. You could write to me. I could again send you the ebook, which is something unique. I tell you, it is given free throughout the world. If this book would have to be purchased, it would cost about more than 15,000 rupees actually. And it has all the practical steps, step by step. It has also video clips also. You can use, if you press a button, the video, let us say transducer movements are shown. What are the structures we will see, it is shown, and it is, everything is there. So I think this concludes my first one, and I would like to go to the second one very quickly. Yeah. Sambit Babu, can I go to my second lecture slide?
Yes, sir. I think it is being displayed. Second slide is being displayed.
Yeah, I don't see that actually.
Sambit Babu, dekhoni se first time dekhauchi. The safety statement the last slide ta close kar diyantu, athre open karantu.
Sir, is it visible now?
Yes. Now it is visible.
I think this is all okay. So let me start quickly, and at the end of this lecture, our objective, second, next slide, please. Next one. Next slide, please. Yeah. What is our learning objective for this lecture is, at the end of the lecture, we will know how to set up the ultrasound machine, which knobs are important to ensure optimal imaging, and how to use the correct orientation of ultrasound images. Next slide, please. Next slide is key questions are: which controls should be used to maximize the quality of the image? What is the correct image orientation when scanning with the transabdominal probe? And what is the correct image orientation when scanning with the transvaginal probe? So next slide, please. We have 2 types of transducer. I think most of the I'm very happy that to learn from our director that many of the hospitals have got HS40 machine Samsung, which is a reasonably good machine, and you have 2 probes. One is a curvilinear and another one is a transvaginal probe. So we have got different kind of transducer types, but in this basic program, there are so many transducers. Like, people are there who work with one of our educator, Rabi Shavi, uses 17 probes, He has 17 probes of different application. So transducers are different, and of course it is not one shirt size for all. People use it for different kind of application, but they are also researchers. So naturally, they would claim to have more number. Ashok Khurana, our national president, also is in the same range. I think he also has so many boxes lying in his office actually, and they use it in between. They also have different machines with different kind of transducer. So here we have to study. We have linear. Linear was used earlier for obstetric. It was considered to be one of the best for linear for obstetric purpose, but it is no more used nowadays. We have started using curvilinear because it covers a broader area. It is a fan-like. We send a fan-like lines to the human tissue. And of course, this annular intracavitary, it is a larger, it is 180 degree. 180 degree, it fans out. So this is mostly for cavitary, but again, it is a high frequency. So its field of view will be limited. The depth, it cannot go beyond 4 centimeters. But the curvilinear which we are using, and I hope that what we have been given is about 3.5. And also it could be a multi-frequency. So sometimes it generates 5 megahertz also. So I think these are the two types we would like. And I just told you that it has a cable, it has a connector, and also, but let me also tell you, as we are now in COVID, going through a COVID period. So the cleanliness, first thing is this is the most expensive part of the machine, and we are always touching it or using it, taking it out, and then putting it in the right slot. Some people, they hang the transducer on the machine, but that's not the right way, because once it falls, crystals will get damaged. So we have to take utmost care. Say, for example, I hold when I take it out, I really use both of my hands to hold the transducer, fearing that it should not fall. So it has a footprint, and then there is a front lens. It focuses the beam actually. So next slide, please. Hygiene. Yeah, hygiene is what after each examination, the transducer, like in case of TB, we have to be more careful because we are using it invasively. So we are mostly using either a condom or some sheets, and those are already pre-sterilized. And we also clean the TV probes with wipes. Various companies are now providing sterilization wipes. So after each exam, we clean it, we use a sheet, and they are also pre-sterilized. So especially the transvaginal, we have to be very, very careful about hygienic aspect. And of course, this, I don't think many people have latex allergy in our place. At least in my so many years of practice, nobody complained about latex allergy. And especially the curvilinear, also same thing. And many times what we see is the jellies are not wiped out. Now, ultimately, the transducer, which is a valuable part, that is from where we send sound waves into the human body. So we have to be very careful, and we have to take utmost. That is our, say, a golden tool. So we have to take it like as if it is our baby. Next slide, please. So we just clean the transducer post scan again with the same wipe, and jelly should not be left like this. It is going to be damaging the footprint. Next slide, please. Now here there is a comparison between trans-abdominal and trans-vaginal imaging. As I already told you that we are using low frequencies in like 3.5 to 5, and transvaginal we are using higher frequency. because we are actually close to the uterus or the pelvic organs. And resolution, of course, will be very good with transvaginal. And sometimes, some transvaginal probes are also available up to 12 megahertz.
Hello, Dr. Hasmukh.
Again.
Nidakar Parida has a question to ask, I think. Can
Yeah.
we allow him just now, because it will be, it may not, if he has a question now, he can ask it. Nidakar Parida.
Is it now I have to reply or at the end?
Actually, sir, slides are not visible, sir.
Oh God. Oh,
That
why?
means
Sir,
we can see the slide, so some
sir,
problem.
there
will
may be
with
some
you.
network issue.
Uh-huh.
Sir.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry. I
Sir.
thought it was a question, doubt.
Slides are visible, ma'am.
I see what we can do is any of my friends who haven't really seen the slides, give me an email. I will send you the whole set of slides. I will send you the slides. I will send you the slides. Yeah. So field of view is very large in transabdominal and transvaginal. Because we can't see deeper beyond the uterus. So anything above the uterus we are going to miss because it is out of the view. So imaging challenges are there, of course. High BMI, because even in obese patient, we are now saying the first trimester, if you are doing a scan up to 12 weeks, always in high BMI, a transvaginal probe will give you better visualization of the fetal anatomy than transabdominal. We have different kind of technique. I think that ebook describes very, very clearly how to go about scanning in obese or high BMI patients. Please read that and it will help you. Then bowel gas, of course, bowel gas is less interfering in transvaginal because we are very close to the region of interest. But in transabdominal, we have got problems when people who have a lot of gas, it will also, and also the fact that when we are going through transabdominal, we have fat, we have skin, we have muscle, and the distance becomes higher. Like if we are seeing a fetal head, the distance from the skin is very high, so resolution is compromised. Next slide, please. Yeah, so again, I think, yeah, when we how do we select our transducer? As I said that, it depends on the because the lower frequency probes, it penetrates better. So we choose a low frequency like 3.5 in people who are obese, patients who are obese, and we can do away with 5 megahertz in lean and thin, because with 5 megahertz, the fetal anatomy or the it becomes very easy to see lean and thin woman actually. Yeah. Next slide, please. So again, here there is a comparison. We can see, look at the two images here. Like there is one example as it is shown here, and how detailed it is with the transvaginal, and how much is the resolution with the transabdominal. Again, this will depend on the, as I said, the distance and the nearness of the probe. Next slide, please. So as we said here, the first trimester, 5 to 8 weeks, it is always ideal. It is always ideal, but many of our women are very fussy and they don't like invasive procedure. So we have to do with transabdominal. But ideal situation is 5 to 8 weeks. We always use a transvaginal. I say in early pregnancy, when we have to really discriminate whether a pregnancy is really a failed pregnancy, where some women come with bleeding, or we have to see the cardiac activity, or the embryonic disc, which is just having some flickering movement. With transabdominal, we may not see. We see at least in a very good view if we are using transvaginal, provided the woman gives a consent. Again, this is a great thing. We have as a chapter in itself, informed consent. And first trimester, 18 to 30 weeks, the higher frequency can be used. Second trimester, of course, 5 megahertz, but if the person is obese, even 5 megahertz is not suitable. Third trimester is always a 3.5. And accurate assessment, let us say low placenta or cervical length. Cervical, actually the rule says that when we are preterm birth, when we have to predict a preterm birth, then we have to use the cervical length, and transvaginal is the best thing. And also low lying placenta, sometimes we have to assess, but at least with bleeding placenta, I mean, if a woman has a bleeding, then we certainly avoid transvaginal. Next slide, please. Yeah, here again, here is the machine which is there. So some of the things here, I had told about 7 acoustic variables of sound. So this machine is so designed that some of the thing the machine we can control from the machine, and some things we can't control because the machine is now set, that this machine is set in such a way it will calculate all the propagation speed at 1540 only, no matter what is the frequency of the probe we are using. So everybody is familiar with this console, means I don't think it is something new, but at least we will go through the functionality of these things. Especially I will tell you about 2-3 things. One is this time gauge TGC, how to set TGC, time gain compensation, the power. Power is very important because this is power is, we are mechanical index and thermal index are dependent on power. So we don't use 100% power all the time. We set our machine to 85-90% of power, because the higher the power, the more intense is the signals we are sending, and more is the chances of biological effects, if at all it can happen. And one thing, let me tell you, this is for everyone, that this focus is very important, because most of the time we forget to use focus. But focus is very important, because let us say one structure is lying at the middle of the screen. Then we have to bring the focus dot to that area, that our region of interest. Most of the people, they never use it, but it is of utmost importance. Then I think next slide, we can go. These things are described in detail. Next slide, please. See the power. Power is energy transmitted into the patient, and default should not be set at 100% maximum output. The recommended is 75% as default. Then use gain control to optimize image. Now, what happens is, let us say I come across a person who is obese, right? So the obese person, what we do, we try to compensate as much as with the overall gain or the TGC. If still it doesn't work, then maybe we can use power. So power is the last resort to use, but not always. Always in lean and thin subject, we should not increase the power. Next slide, please. Now here is the, as I said, that there is a mechanical index and the thermal index, which is, I mean, mandatory by the manufacturers to put it on the screen. It is displayed here, and it will always warn us about the bio effects. Next slide, please. depth and zoom. Yeah, this is very important. Let us say the structure we want to study is is the femur. So what we see here in the first picture, there is a cross. The second picture, there is a cross. What we have done is the first picture shows the femur is very close, and we are sending sound waves much behind. It is unnecessary. Actually, our region of interest is only femur. So why do we go to higher depth? We always decrease the depth to bring the object of our interest to the mid part and enlarge it. This will also enlarge the object. Next slide, please. Also, when we decrease the depth, the frame rate increases, giving us a better resolution. Now, zoom is a must for everything. Like, for example, when we are measuring a BPD, we know that we measure BPD from the outer rim of the nearest part, and the distal part of the skull, the inner line, we have to put a cross, the caliper. So what if we don't enlarge this one, if we don't zoom it, then we will not able to put the cursor in the appropriate place. So zooming is very important, and zoom are of two types of zoom. There is a read zoom and there is a write zoom. Let us say in read zoom, there is an image. Now, if I turn one of my knob to left or right, this image gets bigger, but it gets bigger, but the resolution gets lost because of enlargement, because the pixels, the picture elements in the display, we are enlarging them. We are not putting more lines into this, whereas in the right zoom and the read zoom is a post processing, right zoom is a pre-processing. Before it is stored in the computer memory, we are putting one box over the region of interest. Let us say when we are doing a fetal heart. So what we do is we just ignore the other area except the surrounding of the heart. So we put a box, and then when we press a button, the whole heart gets enlarged, So in that we have put more lines we are actually putting more information into that area only. So our image quality, our zoom quality will be much better, because we have not compromised on the line density of the transducer. On the contrary, we have put more pixels there in that area, so that the image resolution is very good. So always right zoom is the right zoom. Right zoom is the RIGHT, right zoom. That is the one which we have to use. Next slide, please. Focus, as I have already told about that, it is comparable to a lens and extremely important in US guided needling, and often it is forgotten. Yeah, most of the people means even I sometimes, but when I was really preparing for basic training, I had to read everything, and I rather improved, and I really thank Syama madam that she gave me this topic to start with actually. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Focus. Yeah, this is focus. As we can see here, like when we have put the focus in the left side, the focus is up, quite up. Here, this is the upper lip and nostrils we are seeing of the fetus, upper lip and nostril. And see, when we bring the focus, compare both the images, how clear the right one is and how distorted the left one looks like. So use focus. I mean, just remember this, focus is of great importance. And when we, as I said, depth is very important. Then sector is very important. We don't need to fan out large. We have to put the lines in the region of our interest, because that will improve our frame rate and the resolution in a great way. Next slide, please. 2D gain. Yeah, this 2D gain is overall gain. Like what we are doing is we are not actually amplifying the returning sound signals. On the contrary, what we are doing is on the screen, the picture elements are there. We are just brightening them or darkening them. So it is gain amplifies the returning frequency. Fluid is black when correct gain settings are applied. Yeah, 2D gain. We have to be very cautious about using, because otherwise the whole screen will look like a snowstorm. So to have a very good resolution, this button is of very important one. But then this gives us brightness of the whole screen. Next slide, please. Sector width. Yeah, as I said, yeah, sector width is related to the field of view required. A narrow sector improves resolution but reduces the field of view. But let us say, if I have to look at only the fetal heart, my depth and my sector will increase the frame rate, so I can see the fetal heart much clearly. So this is of very sector width is also should be a control to improve the image quality. Next slide, please. Now, time gain compensation is again, as I said, that it is on a specific part of screen, we can increase or decrease the gain. So in the middle picture, the gain buttons or the knobs are set at the middle. When we do a transvaginal, we can actually increase the far ones actually. So this also is changeable depending on how much of image clarity we need. But the mid part, the uniform gain, we always we keep it in the mid part, and then depending on our need, we just adjust accordingly. And as we go towards the left, the gain will decrease. When we go towards right, the gain will increase in that specific line of the screen. Next slide, please. Time gain compensation is because all the signals which are coming from a depth, from a deeper structure, they are weaker. So to make it all uniform, the TGC compensation, I mean the far distant pulses have, the dots are not that bright, they are darker. So to make a uniform image, we use time gain compensation. Cine loop is very important, because cine loop, what happens is, let us say we have in one image, when we have recorded an image, there are some 20 frames. So cine loop will help us in looking at all the frames. When we use the trackball, when we roll it over, it will help us to go to different frames. It is useful for retrieving optimal image of rapidly moving structures. Should not be used to hunt for an acceptable image, because for acceptable image, we try to look specifically at one point and then freeze the image. That is a better way of doing things. And for cine loop, it is very good to study heart, because we can see, let us say the wall, the tricuspid and this wall movements, we can see how whether the heart is in systole, whether it is in diastole. So we can go always to the different frame by changing the trackball. That is called cine loop. It's a very important part, and it is mostly all the machines are now having it. Next slide, please. Room setup. I think this everybody is familiar with. I need not go into much detail. Next slide, please. These are the planes we use. I think this also means transverse, sagittal, and coronal. Most of us as medical personnel, we know the planes. It is not difficult for us to understand. Next slide, please. Probe oriented. Yeah, this is of course means everybody knows it, but again, let me repeat it, that every probe has a notch or a mark or some shallow spot which corresponds to the screen area and how it should be oriented. Like for example, if the notch, there is a notch, and if I am to put the probe sagittally, then the notch should be towards patient's head. Every probe has one or more marks which you can feel and see. The mark on the probe always relates to one side of the monitor. Check the position of the probe and of the image on the monitor. So there is a dot, and therefore the probe, the dot on the probe and the dot on the screen should match. They should be on the same side. Say for example, when I am examining a patient, I am on the right side of the patient. The notch of the probe is towards me, means patient's right side, and also it denotes patient's right side on the screen. So that is the orientation. If somebody cannot use the notch, then we can always apply a little bit of gel and touch the transducer to know which side it is firing from which side. So that is also we do. Next slide, please. So the correct probe orientation is transverse, like it is being shown in this diagram. When you look at the woman at your monitor, the right side of the woman is displayed on the left side of the monitor. So we use pressure of your finger to check the correct position. Fetus with its back to the right of the woman, and never rotate the probe more than 100 degrees, but go back to where you start. This is very important, because if we rotate more than 100 degree, then we will lose the orientation. For example, especially when we are deciding about the situs of the heart, or in cases of twins, this is very dangerous. If we are rotating it too much, then maybe we are measuring a different fetus than the one we are interested in. Because it is very carefully, when we are doing twin, we just start with one twin and go through, complete all the thing about that specific twin and not look at the other one. Otherwise, the measurements are going to be wrong. We may measure the second AC of the second twin. So we must not lose sight of the orientation. This is very, very important. So this is how I think probe orientation is not difficult, but when we will be doing really the simulator or the on-site for new people, I mean, for everybody, it is very easy to do. And of course, the ebook has described it so well that possibly you don't need somebody to teach you actually. Next slide, please. Incorrect probe orientation transverse. So what will happen? Yeah, this is again, it has shown the probe has been rotated incorrectly through 180 degree. So the mark is toward the woman's left, and therefore the fetus therefore seems to be lying with its back to the left side of the completely other direction. So the 180 degrees, I mean, we are losing sight of the orientation. Next slide, please. This is in the longitudinal. Again, this is very important. If we are not looking at the notch, then the cephalic fetus will appear to be caudal. You know, so again here we have to take care about the correct probe orientation. Next slide, please. This is incorrect image orientation, longitudinal. The probe has been rotated incorrectly through 180 degree. The mark is toward the maternal bladder. The fetus is now diagnosed incorrectly as in breech position, as I said. Yeah, that's right. So next slide, please. In transvaginal, of course, this is very important because this sometimes confuses us, and confuses us in the sense that the notch has to be always toward the ceiling. You know, notch should be always toward the up, and the rotation has to be anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise, then we are in a correct orientation about left and right. So this we can always touch the top of the probe and just find out which way the firing is coming from. Next slide, please. So the probe never rotate clockwise. That is the principle of transvaginal. So here it is already, again, it has depicted that longitudinal view, and we are all familiar, means those of many of us, I mean 95% of our colleagues must be doing ultrasound in this group. So this is the longitudinal view, and it has a wide area. It shows how beautifully yeah, longitudinal. Next slide, please. So here again, when we have turned the anti-clockwise, we are seeing the right, the left, posterior, anterior, and this is the correct one. This is the correct orientation. So anti-clockwise is the way to go. Next slide, please. Now regarding transducer movement, this is very important because rotation changes the transducer plane from sagittal to transverse. This we all know that when we have to do different planes. So rotation, we all know it is not difficult. Regarding, only thing is we have to make sure that we are using the notch in a very, very proper way for correct side annotation. Then sliding movement is very important because slowly, I tell you that you know, some of our colleagues or some of our teachers, or even I for some time, means do a anomaly scan very quickly using sliding technique. How do we do? We just go to the BPD plane and we just go slide down, neck, thorax, abdomen, you know, the pelvis, the bladder, and again when we go to 90 degree, when we rotate, we will just look at the femur. So biometry you can complete in one go, with this sliding technique. It's very easy, but then the movement has to be very, very slow. You just can't just go very quickly. You have to slide it very slowly and go axially from the BPD plane right up to the pelvis, and then rotate 90 degree. You will definitely look at the pelvis. Or when we are changing the direction, like from from the BPD plane, when we rotate to look at the fetal profile, the nose, lips, then we turn the transducer. Now dipping and heel, it is along the narrow axis of the transducer. That we just use the heel or the toe to look at certain organs of interest actually. And angling and fanning, this is also along wide axis of the transducer. Next slide, please. I think all the movements are depicted in the ebook you have got. If you have got ebook, there are video clips there. There are video clips you can look at actually. So rotation is again, this is transverse to sagittal, rotate clockwise. The notch should always be toward the patient right and toward the head. This we have discussed already. Rotation is also used to elongate structures such as
ନାଇଁ ନାଇଁ ଏପଟେ ଘୁଞ୍ଚାର ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ ଉଠୁନି
and
ତମେ
what
ସଫା କର ବାପା ଆସିଲେ ସାର୍ ଆସିଲେ କହିବେ ଏଟା କଣ କରିବେ ନହେଲେ
what
Separate
we have to do is always what we do is during scanning our object of the scanning should be in the middle of the screen, not on the side of the screen. Let us say if we are to do CRL, because the reason is because we are using a curvilinear, the central beam is at 90 degree and at axial resolution is best at 90 degree, and therefore we will see the image returning waves are coming at 90 degree returning waves. So always the object of our interest has to be in the middle of the screen. Take care about, I mean, that's an important point. Next slide, please. Slide in a sagittal plane along a narrow axis. So this is again we have discussed, and center of anatomy has always it should be always be on the center of the screen. Yeah, slide along the, so by sliding movement the object should be, it will come to the middle actually. Yeah, next slide please. Sliding away from the notch will sliding in the sagittal plane helps center the anatomy of interest on the screen. Yeah. Next slide. I think they are working in the hospital and yeah. With this. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yeah, this I just told you how to slide in a transfer. This is what I was telling, that if you just use for survey scan of the pregnancy or fetus, helps determine the fetal lie and locate anatomy, and sliding from the fetal heart to fetus. This particular technique will be, I think Dr. Rajat Rai is talking about 20+2 planes, and most of the speakers will talk about this sliding technique, because almost all the anomalies you can detect by this sliding in transverse plane in so many different areas. Actually, they are numbered actually. That is called 20+2 planes, and yeah, that is Rajat Rai is talking about that. So it will come. Yeah. Next slide, please. So this is again the same thing, dipping towards and away from the notch. It helps center anatomy on the screen. Toe is at the notch end and heel is the non-notch end. Okay, next slide, please. Angling and fanning, keeping the probe in one spot, can angle from side to side. This is when we are actually fanning our line of the fundamental frequency. Again, sometimes we have to use this technique to look at certain region of interest, and say for example, if the fetal spine is anterior, so we are looking, when I am putting in the middle of the abdomen, the fetal spine is anterior. So what I do is I slide my transducer toward left or towards right, and then bring it into the focus. So these movements are very important, but I think we are going to talk in greater detail during hands-on, and during hands-on these things will be very important. How to maximize the resolution or the study of one organ by probe movement. And also there is one lecture, maybe I will share it with everybody very soon. about probe movements. It's a very detailed one lecture is completely about probe movement. So keeping probe in one spot can angle from side to side along a wide axis of transducer. This is used to center anatomy. Again, I said about if certain part is not visible with one area, you can just move the transducer to a different angle. Yeah. Next slide, please. So these are the key points. We always said that select a correct probe. It is very, very important. And adapt the machine setting throughout the examination and to obtain and maintain optimal views. Probe orientation and image orientation should be consistent. Rotate probe anti-clockwise when changing from longitudinal plane to transverse and coronal plane for TA and TV. So this is, I think we have covered most of the part, and both the things are there, but any questions you can put it in email. I will reply. And but any of our friends, they want this whole
Any
set of
question in
slides
chat
on
box?
slides.
Chat box?
Chat box is not questions are not there.
Yes.
Yeah, I think let me share my email so that anyone wanting any material related to the subject, I can always help them. This is my email I am typing out here. Yeah, oh my God. dr.hasmukh@gmail.com. So anything, anytime means no problem at all, means I am there.
I think, shall we give the post-training questions now?
Yeah, I think it is better that let them reply without hesitation and without any fear, because we are not, we will not know who has.
There is a question. There is
Yeah.
a question, sir. If the patient is obese, how will you solve the problem? In an obese patient,
Yeah, in obese patient, what we do is, I see there are different techniques like the panic. As I said that obese patients, what is preferable? If it is a first trimester, then use transvaginal probe. Up to 13, 14 weeks, the transvaginal probe will be very, very helpful because there is not much of fat which is obstructing in transvaginal examination. And if, let us say, some patient doesn't want that, then what we do? Then what we do is we have to lift the panniculus. You know, there are these techniques are described very vividly in the ebook. You can scan through umbilicus with a transvaginal probe through umbilicus. So there are certain areas like patient, if it turns towards Sims position, left side, you know, then through the lateral wall, which is, there is not much of fat there. So through that you can scan. So these are the things we can use. And all the techniques, I think there is a whole chapter, the technique which is given in the ebook with videos maybe. Yeah. I think they have written to send slides. Surely, I think, please, what you see, if you want anything from me, the best thing for you is take my email and give one email, because then I can reply. But I cannot remember your email here. It is difficult for me. The best thing is you take my email, which is very, very easy.
I have put the email ID of Dr. Hasmukh in the chat box.
Right. And then what we do is we can send it, because once you send an email, for me, I have to reply only, that's all. And it will be very quick for me. I don't have to type your email actually. That becomes difficult.
We will also put the email ID in your virtual WhatsApp group,
Yeah.
virtual training WhatsApp group.
I will do that. I will do that. I will do that actually.
Okay. So
Good evening,
thank
ma'am.
you very, very much.
Ma'am, good
Let-
evening. So I guess with this, we have come to end of this session. There is a suggestion from Dr. Narottam that machine setup learning and different adjustments will be better if taught with machine. Yes, a hands-on training will be more effective than learning on this Zoom platform.
Yeah, I think see what I think is it is always better. Hands-on is always better. But even if from the ebook, if you follow, if you are having a machine, get familiar with all the knobs. What we do, let us say, what we do is we turn certain knobs. When we turn a knob and we see what effect it has on the screen. Let us say if I am decreasing the sector, then I will always see that my frame rate has gone high, right? If I decrease my depth, I see that, yeah, the resolution. So try it out. I mean, the best way is what our teachers, our mentors has taught us. What they said in early days, there was no such thing. They said, take a probe and scan yourself. And just look, means we turn the knob and look what happens on the screen. It is visible. So without fear, I think those of
Dr. Hasmukh, are you sitting near your machine?
Madam,
Are you sitting near your machine? Ultrasound. Are you sitting
I
near
set
your-
I have set my machine in a, yeah, according to my need. Yes.
No.
Huh.
Is your machine nearby?
No, not here. Next sessions I'll be in the clinic, because I wanted clinic. If
Because you can show how to hold the transducer by
I
showing
think
the different
yeah.
transducers.
Next time, maybe in 10-minute session or 5 minutes, if you give me, I can show. Right. So, but today I avoided going to clinic because lot of people will be disturbing me. They will come with emergency, and then I would not be able to focus and concentrate on what I have to say. That's why I am at home today.
So what is the convenient time for trainers? Training? Can we decide on the Sambit? Can we decide on the training? Many said it is 3 p.m. is okay. Many said that it should be in the evening. So for most of the trainers, which time is convenient? Samarendra Mahapatra is saying 5 p.m. So 5 p.m. is okay with everybody? Somebody
No,
saying-
ma'am, this is the right time. I am Ashish.
Somebody is saying 6 to 7 p.m.
No, that will not be right.
If-
I think let it be 3 p.m.
4 to 6 will be right.
Now, what is the most, see, we have to
Right.
adjust for the trainees. For the trainees, if 3 p.m. is the best time, then we stick
Thank you, madam.
because it is not for the trainers, but for the trainees that we are here.
I
If the
think
trainees
3 to
feel
5 is
very-
okay.
3 p.m., then we will make it 3 p.m.
Madam,
Yes.
madam, যেহেতু weekly once, madam, 3 to 5 time ta fix করেছে, let us request everyone to stick
Stick
into
to
the
that.
time so that it will be better,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes, because
Weekly once.
3 to 5 p.m. every Friday, please block your time. See that.
Next time.
Okay, next time we are having a very interesting topic, and that is on what is Doppler, because Doppler, we all get confused what is Doppler, and for that we have Dr. Preeti Dubey, and she is also one of the few persons like Hasmukh Lal and Josna Panigrahi who are really, and Amitabh Giri, pupils are coming up also. They are reference points for us. And she will be talking on Doppler principle and how to use Doppler in for the benefit of the pregnant mother and the fetus. And we will be fortunate to have Professor Dr. Ashok Khurana, who is a giant in ultrasound and an international figure. And he is also very, very happy with this training that we have undertaken virtually initially. He is also given us many ideas how to go about in the next phase after the COVID crisis comes down. This full course we will finish, then we will go to simulators and then actually hands-on. So all these trainers who have gathered here to train you up, they will be going to your place or selecting a place where some of you can come down and take the hands-on. So don't worry. So please concentrate, read the ebook and also concentrate on the slides. It was a very difficult topic today because somebody who has been doing ultrasound since 1992, like Dr. Hashmukh, and so passionately has gone up to such expertise that he is now really a fetal medicine expert. And with such patience, I don't think anybody could have done justice to this topic. It is a very dry topic, I can say, but we have to know it. And the first orientation that he has given us is extremely important. Hopefully, you have taken it up, and these it has been recorded. If you want his talk, recordings of his talk, UNICEF, Sambit will be able to provide you the link so that you can use it later on. So the link, the UNICEF is keeping all these links for permanently, so that one of us would like to use it, you can go and get it done, get the link. And now let us, so this is pre-training questions.
So madam, the post-training questionnaire is live now. We can try for that. And another question from Dr. Rama Manjari Nayak to Hasmukhlal sir, that whether M mode is better than PW for FHR during early pregnancy.
Which mode? Which mode? She
M
said?
mode. M mode. M mode.
M mode is?
Whether M mode is better than PW for FHR during early pregnancy scan.
Sure. It is actually, it is definitely PW has the highest energy we are putting into the fetus. So PW is not to be used. I think let me share with Dr. Rama Manjari. Anytime some patients will tell you, "Ame chuaro heart ta sunibu," and we need not oblige. That is, we are harming actually the fetus. So we never put PW on the fetus. Yeah. So M mode, we definitely we have to record the heart rate. So that is a useful thing. See, point is, any form of ultrasound energy, even our examination should not be very long. We have to complete the whole thing in a shortest possible time to avoid exposure. That is the thing.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Ma'am, till now only 12 participants have responded to the post training knowledge assessment questions.
Please.
I request others to
Please, all of you,
respond.
please attend the post training questions. Please do.
I think the subsequent talk. See, basically what happens is, physics of ultrasound is it is boring subject for many, but then this is the foundation, this is the groundwork to produce a best diagnostic image. These principles we have to know in great detail. I tell you, when I was actually doing my observership in US, I was given 2 books. I am still having that. And technology of, you can see, So these are the books. This is a must for every person doing ultrasound, the sonographic principles and instrumentation. It is one of the, it's a book already. And I think this is the fundamental someone has to know to produce a best. We all do ultrasound, but many, we might be doing, not knowing how things happen. Say, for example, there is a question here, attenuation, absorption, scattering. It travels through the intensity of the sound wave decreases as a result of all the three. Actually, it is all the three. Because so this is how they teach, and they also, we have to go through MCQs, and a lot of procedures are there for. But then it is a good subject, although, but I tell you, the subsequent speakers are brilliant ones. These 15 people who have come forward, they are great people. I appreciate what they have been doing in our state, and really the whole program is going to be very interesting with their contribution, and they are all great people. I have highest regard for each one of them, and yeah, and because of Syama madam, we all assembled and really thought of joining this program, and it is really a great opportunity to see and meet you all, actually. Yeah.
Please answer the post-training questions, all of you. It is very important for us, for all the trainers. Have the doubts been cleared in the pre-training questions? The questions that were asked, did you find the answers in the talk? So naturally, your post-training questions you have to attempt. Please, I request you, because your names will not be declared or it will not be identified. But we want to know how much of the doubts were cleared. So it is really a test for Dr. Hasmukh Lal, whether he has delivered the goods or not. And I'm sure in the first instance, those who have not done ultrasound before, for them, I am sure that things have cannot be so clear even at this first talk. But those who have already been doing ultrasound, for them definitely it has helped them to clarify themselves. Nihar Mishra, you were never doing ultrasound before. Did you find, did you please answer the post-training questions?
Where are the questions?
Post-training questions, dear. Sambit.
Yeah, ji.
Madam, এটা ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ live ଅଛି।
पोल रे अछि सब, पोल रे हमर अछि सब।
पोल टा खोलो, पोल क्वेश्चंस खोलो।
शेयर स्क्रीन पाखरे जो ग्रीन जो अछि ता पाखरे या है सेठी।
पाई गली
आगे सेटा आपण रिप्लाई करू।
समस्त आंसर करो हैला, कारण ए आंसर करिले जोटा पारिलनी हमें सब्सिक्वेंट टॉक्स everybody, all the trainers will be there in every session. So if Hasmukh Lal has to clarify something in the next session, next Friday, he will be collecting whatever issues were there. He can discuss it with you, and also Dr. Khurana is there. He will be there, and we will discuss. Ame eta hochi suno. Prathame ako brain ta to mind must not know. Mind must know what the hands will be doing. So the prathama session guda sabu what we are training the mind, and with the images also.
Be more image, the stronger the return echo, the darker.
Where is the question then? It is not.
पोल्स रे अछि।
Polls.
Where is polls?
हां, chat
Polls is next to participants.
More में है ना?
मैडम आपनको मोर रे देखंतु नले आपनको जो स्क्रीन नो लोअर पैनल बोर्ड जो अछि
मोर रे कोटरे अछि मोटरे
मैडम आपण लैपटॉप रे खोलछन ना मोबाइल रे खोलछन?
मोबाइल रे खोलछि।
आज्ञा ताले मैडम सही मोर रे थिबो चार्ट परे थिबो।
अच्छा ठीक अछि, देखो जे मन नाले ठीक अछि।
पोल्स आज्ञा पोल्स बोली गोटे ऑप्शन थिबो। मैडम जणे पार्टिसिपेंट मोटो जी रे जे कनेक्ट करचंदी से हैंड रेज करचंदी, मे बी तांकर किछ क्वेश्चन थिबो।
ask him what he has to say, means आज्ञा आपण माने अनम्यूट करी पचारंतु कहिबा अन्य अनम्यूट करंतु।
Hello, Gangadhar. Thank you. Did you answer the post training questions? समस्त post training question answer करो because जदि किछि issues अच्छी in the next class those questions will be clarified. Thank you, Shravan. Good, Gangadhar. Thank you, Sanjay.
हेलो
Yes.
मैडम मु सत्यजित कहूँ आरजे राउरकेला नमस्कार मैडम।
हाँ post
सत्यजित
post
पटना
poll. हाँ thank you.
मैडम
ये तुम्हें post poll questions टा कलो ये जो post training questions
करी की पठे दीजिए केते
submit
मैडम
करियो actually
कर
हम
दीजिए
माने we want to improve as trainers सिर्फ हम पे एटा परीक्षा है
मैडम मैडम
किछटा तो sensitization हला we will definitely do hands on don't worry हमें तो
ओके
छाड़ू
मैडम ओके मैडम
माने प्रॉमिस करचंती तुम हैंड्स ऑन ट्रेनिंग देबे
ठीक अछि मैडम
ये
ओ
कोविड
कहली
से
मैडम
ओमाइक्रोन टा जाऊ उसके बाद डाइमाइक्रोन डबल माइक्रोन केते कोन आसु
मैडम
एटा नथले
करिवे तो सत्य भाई करिवे तो अल्ट्रासाउंड
हां कई करबिनी के एबे राउरकेला रे करूची
करचन तो ठीक अछि गुड
सुनो आ गोटे सिक्रेट कहूची एटा आमे समस्त गोटे क्लोज ग्रुप आ ये सरोज पाणिग्राही सर सुनी देबे से होची तमे एठी सिखी गले एठी हॉस्पिटल रे तो निश्चय करबो गरीब मानक तापर तम सेटअप जोटी प्राइवेट थिवो तमे जाय निजे सेठी करबो निजे ऑन करबो यू आर अलाउड प्रैक्टिस कर परबो हला
ठीक अछि ओ
प्रैक्टिस टा डिपेंडेबल हबो तमे जदी भलो ग्रेट करबो एठी पुअर पेशेंट मानकर कर दबो तांको भगेबो
से हमर मैडम रिक्वायरमेंट केवल एतिकी जे हमर जो जगह अल्ट्रासाउंड मशीन अछि सेटा मैडम फंक्शनल हो जाओ बाकी सार माने जोठी करंतु जेते जगह करंतु हमर कोन प्रॉब्लम माने किछि प्रॉब्लम नै
किछि नै
जोठी करिवार से करंतु केवल जो गरीब दुख माने आछंती सेमानकु किछटा बेनिफिट मिल जाओ हमर जेतिक अल्ट्रासाउंड मशीन पब्लिक फैसिलिटी अछि सेतिक ऑपरेशनल हो जाओ बस
हां हां
बाकी सार माने जोठी करछंती जा करछंती हमर किछि इश्यूज नै
नै किंतु देखो समस्ते एटी हॉस्पिटल रे
बस सब एफआर रे हेजिवा दरकार बस
आ गोटे सिक्रेट होची सब ऑब्स्टेट्रिशियन जानନ୍ତି जे हॉस्पिटल रे भलो डिलीवरी कंडक्ट करे जे भलो सिजेरियन करे जे भलो ऑपरेशन करे से तार बाहर बहुत डिमांड सेमति जे भलो एठी अल्ट्रासाउंड करिवो मानको सहाय्य करिवो से बाय वर्ड ऑफ माउथ चले जिवो एवं प्राइवेट सेटअप रे ताकू ता पखु लोक छुटी बुझिलो ସେଥିପାଇଁ
madam.
ହସ୍ପିଟାଲ ରେ ନିଶ୍ଚୟ କରିବ ହସ୍ପିଟାଲ ଆୱାର ରେ ଆଉ ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟଲି ନିଶ୍ଚୟ ଲୋକ ଯାଇକି ତୁମ ପାଖେ ପହଞ୍ଚିବେ ତୁମକୁ କାହାକୁ ଡାକିବାକୁ ପଡିବ।
ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ନମସ୍କାର ଜ୍ୟୋତ୍ସ୍ନା।
ହଁ ଜ୍ୟୋତ୍ସ୍ନା ତୋ ପାଖକୁ ବି ଯିବେ ଲୋକ ଆଉଥରେ ଫିଟାଲ ମେଡିସିନ ଶିଖିବାକୁ।
ଠିକ ଅଛି। ମୁଁ ଫୋନ କହିଲି କଣ ହସମୁଖ ଲାଲ ସାର୍ ବହୁତ ଭଲ ହେଇଛି। ଖାଲି ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ଜଷ୍ଟ ମୁଁ ଏମିତି କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନାରୀ ଭିତରେ କଥା ହଉଛନ୍ତି ତ ମୁଁ କହୁଛି ତିନିଟା ବଟମ ଭଲ କି ଚିହ୍ନିଥିବ ଡେପ୍ଥ ଫୋକସ ଜୁମ୍ ହୋଲ ଏଭ୍ରିଥିଙ୍ଗ ଗୋଜ ବାଇ 3 ବଟମ କାହିଁକିନା ଗେନ୍ ଟାକୁ ସେ ମେସିନ ବାଲା ଅଲରେଡି ଆଡଜଷ୍ଟ କରିକି ପଳେଇଥିବ। ଆଡଜଷ୍ଟ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଆମ ପାଖରେ କେବଳ ଦିଟା ବଟମ ଫୋକସ ଆଉ ଡେପ୍ଥ ଡେପ୍ଥ ଟାକୁ ଆଡଜଷ୍ଟ କରିକି ଯୋଉ ଜାଗାଟା ଏରିଆ ଅଫ ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟ ରେ ଫୋକସ କରିବ ତାପରେ ତାକୁ ଡେପ୍ଥ ଫୋକସ କୁ ନବ ଡେପ୍ଥ କୁ ନବ ତାପରେ ଜୁମ୍ କରିବ। ନେଭର ଜୁମ୍ ଦ ଇमेଜ ବିଫୋର ଫୋକସିଂ एंड बिफोर एडजस्टिंग द डेप्थ दैट इज अ बेसिक थिंग। सेतिकी खाली काली प्रैक्टिस करंतु जो जगह को इमेज करिया को नेबे सेही जगह को फोकस पॉइंट टा घुचे घुचे एफ टा को नेबे सेठी पहुंची गला तापरे सेठी की आपण जूम बॉक्स ने की ताकू जूम करिवे। नेवर जूम बिफोर फोकसिंग बिफोर एडजस्टिंग द डेप्थ ए दीटा बटन आउ हमर कोनोसी बटन को छुईमा दरकार
एग्जैक्टली
एकदम दीटा बटन आउ किछि दरकार नहीं खाली फोकस आउ मशीन को जेते हैंडल कले किछि हबनी गोटे से गोटे बटन अछि जोठी की पुनी सेट कर देले ऑटोमेटिकली रीसेट हे जिवो। तो डोंट अफ्रेड ऑफ हैंडलिंग द मशीन जे मोटे कोन कर देली गोटे कोन हे जिवो दैट इज नेवर। आपण जोठी की लाइथिबे अगेन गोटे स्विच अछि पचार देबे से लोक को जे आछचंदी जे तांको पचारिबे कोठी हमर रीसेट बटन अछि रीसेट को गले पुनी जो सेटिंग थिबो सेटरे सेट हे जिवो। तो डोंट बी अफ्रेड ऑफ दैट मशीन किछि चेंज हुएनी पूरा बेकार कथा सेटिंग चेंज हे गला गोलमाल हे गला नुह खाली डेप्थ आउ जूम आउ फोकस ए तीनटा जिंस छडा आउ किछि नाही मशीन रे एडजस्टमेंट।
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
madam. Thank you.
Thank you.
आउ ट्रेनर्स किछि आउ किछि कंट्रीब्यूट करिवे कि जो माने अछंती रंजना आउ को माने अछंती किछि कंट्रीब्यूट करबी मोर खाली कहयार कथा मन रखो एब्डोमिनल ट्रांसड्यूसर जोटा कहउतले सर इटा मो हातरे देखौची मो वीडियो रे
मैडम शेयर करंतु ना स्क्रीन। हां
हां नहीं स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं मो हातरा देखछो तो
हां
मो हातरा देखछो तो ये जे एब्डोमिनल ट्रांसड्यूसर हैला तमे जहां चाहूचो एपट साइड रो कोन देखिया पे से ट्रांसड्यूसर रो को सेपुरु नै जिवो तापरे क्लॉक ये एंटी क्लॉकवाइज करी हैला एब्डोमिनल ट्रांसड्यूसर रो धरो एटा हैला हमें मु चाहूची एपट साइड रो कोन देखिया पे मु ट्रांसड्यूसर रो सेपुरु नै जाई करी तापरे एपटवा ये करी माने क्लॉक एंटी क्लॉकवाइज टर्न करी किंतु जदी ट्रांसवेजानल प्रोब हैला हमें भितर एटा पुरेचू सब बेले एटा को क्लॉकवाइज टर्न करी हैला ना कोन ठीक तो
हाँ ठीक लोग ना
एंटी क्लॉकवाइज ना मैडम
मैम एंटी क्लॉकवाइज
it will be anti clockwise, yeah.
सुनंतु धरो ट्रांसवर्स माने मोर एब्डोमिनल स्कैन हैला एब्डोमिनल स्कैन ता मु तो एपुटवा नै परिबिनी ओ सॉरी दिस हैज टू बी एपुटवा नै करी एंटी क्लॉक ये करी दिस इज क्लॉकवाइज और एंटी क्लॉकवाइज
मैडम एब्डोमिनल
नो क्लॉक ता तो एमिति चले ना क्लॉक ता एमिति चले हमें एब्डोमिनल जो ट्रांसड्यूसर ता हमें तो एमिति सुपाइन करी की टर्न करबा नै हमें सब प्रोन करी टर्न करबा।
मैडम एब्डोमिनल ट्रांसड्यूसर शुड बी 0 to 90 degree not more than that. Always it is 0 to 90.
0 to 90
0 to 90
टीवी प्रोब दा हमें टीवी
एंटी क्लॉकवाइज
हां टीवी प्रोब दा एंटी क्लॉकवाइज माने से जो
Same principle, you should not go beyond 100 degree. Same principle for both the transducers. And जहाँ ज्योत्स्ना मैडम आपण सुनतो ज्योत्स्ना मैडम आपण जहाँ कहिले आपण the first button you are going to do is the depth. The second one is the sector. Third one is focus. Because sector mu jani ni HS40 re sector achi. Anybody can tell me whether there is a direct button to reduce the field of view or expand the field of view?
No sir, I think it must be adjust. You have to adjust because
sector guda ko pray ebe sabu machine re sector ta auchi. That is also sometimes they call it angle.
जे
angle.
मेसिंग सेटअप
And-
पे आछंती तांको ऑब्स्टेटिक स्कैन रे से गोटे सेक्टर ऑलरेडी फिक्स करके जानती तो यू नीड नॉट चेंज दैट मच एते रिक्वायर्ड वेनी खाली डेप्थ एडजस्टमेंट आ फोकस आ बॉटम कर देले हे जाउची मु जेति की जानि छी एते सेक्टर टाको दरकार पडुनी केवल कार्डियक कलाल को सेक्टर टाको नेरो करिया पडुची अदरवाइज पडुनी देखो तो आपण
जूम टा भी आपण राइट जूम करिवे आपण जो इमेज को फ्रीज करी करी जूम करिले आपनकर माने भलो डिस्टॉर्टेड हे जिवो सो whatever you want to zoom, the right zoom is the right one to zoom. RIGST WRITE right one is the right one. So point is jotele image is live before the image is frozen ame zoom kariba kotha apan jo box kotha kahile yeah, that is the thing. Otherwise in some machines what it happens is when you have frozen the image and then you enlarge pixels ta khali bada hei jaye to image ta distorted hei jibo.
सर आ गोटे इम्पोर्टेंट इस मशीन रे बसिबा आगु फर्स्ट एसेटेन करंतु जे आपनकर प्रोब जे धरि चंती राइट अछि ना लेफ्ट राइट
That orientation I told na about notch about the
सर
notch.
से
Yeah,
गोटे
that is-
ठीक करना एति हेइ जिवो सर माने एक्सपर्ट्स करबे
पेशेंट रो राइट माने राइट पेशेंट रो लेफ्ट माने लेफ्ट
आपनकर जेतले
एटा-
सिमुलेटर आसिले भी they will learn आमे चाहू छु जे with this kind of training which amar tinita part jaha अछि simulator and online I mean hands on with this
Sir,
35 to
sir.
40% of increase hebo आपनकर knowledge ta 35 to 40% is predictable.
सर आ गोटे जिंस YouTube रे गोटे हाउ टू improve probe movement बोली गोटे बढ़िया वीडियो अछि
सब YouTube everything there is nothing I tell you the
यदि कहबे
internet
मु
is-
शेयर कर देबी सेटा हाउ टू improve probe movement बोली गोटे पूरा बढ़िया वीडियो अछि ताकू बसी सुनि दे समस्त पूरा सिखि देबे किछ
Google is the best one and the
बढ़िया अछि
YouTube is the
एटा मु शेयर
YouTube
कर
is
देबी
the best learning
सेटा
resources.
सर कर देबा जोडे सर ईश्वग्र नाही कि हाउ टू improve the probe movement सेटा कर देले माने बुझि देबे सर
बहुत गुड अछि ए जो ट्रेनिंग बेसिक ट्रेनिंग रो होल स्ट्रक्चर हमर एटा 2016 रे आरंभ हैला इस वर्क स्टार्टेड तो एथिरे एक्चुअली मेजर पार्टिसिपेंट्स वाज टिटियाना नेदरलैंड रो जने अछंती आउ मनिक हक सी इज आल्सो फ्रॉम नेदरलैंड अबू अहमद राबी
Yes, Sujata, you have any questions to ask? Sujata? Shall we end the post-training questions? Okay,
आंसर टा केते बेले कहिबे
answer ta they will post in the group. Pre और post training रो semane gote pie diagram kari पठेबे.
मैम ऑलरेडी मैडम 5:50 हे गेलानी मैडम
So I think we should end. I
we should
thank
end, ma'am.
everybody from the core of my heart. And Sambit and has done a very hard work as regards structuring the Zoom link and the pre-training and post-training links. And really, he has to work very hard. Till last night, he got the inputs and he had to arrange the flyer. And so next Friday, let us all meet sharply at 3 p.m. I don't think DFW need to come again. I think he has already inaugurated the program. So we can start the training straight away. First pre-training questions दिया जिवो तापरे topic आरंभ होई जिवो topic आरंभ परे post training question दिया जिवो तापरे discussions टा करबा. Okay.
Madam, again, thank you, madam, for your kind words. समस्त को नमस्कार हॉस्पिटल सर को भी मु ग्रेटिट्यूड एक्सप्रेस करछि हमर एटीएमएच सर डॉक्टर मुरलीधर पाड़ सर कोविड पॉजिटिव है कि भी आज अटेंड करछन हमर सेशन पर लास्ट टाइम से नचंती सर को बहुत धन्यवाद सर समस्त को रिक्वेस्ट कि जो लिंक टा आज जो लिंक रे आपण माने जॉइन करले सेही लिंक टा थ्रू आउट ऑल द सेशंस टिल अगस्त इटा एक्टिव रहइबो तो काइंडली सेव दिस मेल ए लिंक रे क्लिक करले आपण सब बेले हमर सेशन गुडा जॉइन कर परथु एवरी फ्राइडे थैंक यू
संबित बाबू थैंक यू सो मच या
very much
थैंक यू सर
Sambit babu Saroj babu all the health managers and all the trainers. It was really encouraging. It is really a very big test for all of us, whether we could go about with online or not. But whatever it is, online is the order of the day. That is what COVID has taught us. From online, we will go to offline definitely. So when we go to offline with our online background, definitely we will all be expert sonologists and save our mothers and babies. Okay.
Thank you, madam.
Lots of things are coming after this, because they'll be more interesting now, because this physics was really difficult, tough, and still then it held the attention of all till the end. I'm very, very happy. So tomorrow, next week is Doppler. Doppler again, all of us want to know how to use the Doppler. What is Doppler? So, and Preeti is fabulous at it. Actually, Ajit Naik was supposed to speak. He had got registered for the Indore conference. So we had to change over to Preeti. But now the Indore conference has got cancelled. But then since Preeti has gone ahead with it, Preeti will do this topic and Ajit sir will take another topic later on. Okay? Ami Sariba Ati. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam. Good
Thank you, madam. Namaste.
Namaskar, namaskar.
Thank you very,
Namaskar.
very much.
All the colleagues, yeah, friends. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste, madam.
Hello.
Namaskar.
Thank you, Sanjay. Satyajit.
Madam.
Okay. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, madam.
मैडम सेशन एंड कर देवी.
हाँ, end कर दो. End कर दो.
Thank you, madam. नमस्कार.
Thank you, Sambit.